My name's Ben and I'm from Verf-Coat. Today we've got this wicked E92 M3 in and the brakes are looking a little bit rough. We're going to be using a Verf-Coat Caliper Kit to revive the look and get this M3 back to its former glory. As you can see, we've already got the car jacked up on axle stands with all the wheels removed. So let's have a look what's inside one of these kits. So as you can see, today we're using a Super Red kit. This kit contains everything that you need to change the colour of your calipers, and it's also rated up to 450 degrees. So let's have a look what's inside. So first thing we're greeted by is all the paint products. First things first, we've got caliper primer, caliper colour, and caliper clear coat. And here we've got our instructions for preparation, masking and painting. If we lift up this tab here, we'll find 2 grits of sandpaper, 180 and 320, tack cloth, 2 pairs of gloves, one for painting and one for prepping, a wire brush, and masking tape. So let's have a look at the current state of the calipers. So as we can see, these calipers are relatively clean. We've got some light corrosion where the wire brush will come in handy. But first things first, let's get on our preparation gloves. This caliper's got some light corrosion just on the edge here and down here, and that's why we're going to use the wire brush. Right, so now we're happy with how much corrosion we've removed with the wire brush. Let's go do the other 3 calipers. So now we're happy with how much we've wire brushed each caliper. We're going to use 180 grit to get rid of any rough areas and 320 to smooth everything over. As you can see, all the rough areas have been sanded down with 180. Now we're going to smooth everything out with 320. So we've 180'd the rough areas and now we've just gone over with 320. Everywhere's smoothed out and we've made sure that we've left no shiny bits. Now let's repeat this process for the 3 other calipers and move on to the masking. So now we've got all the calipers prepped up, we're going to clean them down. We're going to use a damp rag to get rid of any residue that we might have left on the calipers or remaining dust. Then we're going to leave them to air dry and we can move on to masking. So we've waited around 15 minutes for the brakes to air dry. We're going to take our gloves off and start masking up the calipers, making sure that we get no paint in any unwanted areas. So when it comes to masking up, you've got to ensure that everywhere that isn't being painted is covered. So for example, for this caliper, we're going to tuck masking tape behind the caliper and around the back. So we've masked locally around the calipers and now we're going to cover the larger surrounding areas. In our instance, we're going to be using masking paper, but at home you can use any laminated paper and that'll do the job just fine. Now we're going to repeat this process on all 3 other calipers. So let's recap on what we've done so far. We've taken the wheels off, we've prepped the calipers, we've cleaned them down and masked them. Now it's time for the final step, which is painting. So let's put on our second pair of gloves, ready for painting. But before we do anything, we're going to get our tack cloth and clean down the calipers just to make sure we've removed any last pieces of dust that we may have left from prepping. So now it's the time that we've all been waiting for, the paint. First things first, we're going to start with the caliper primer. What we've got to do is shake the can for at least 2 minutes to ensure it's prepped. And we've also got to make sure that it's at a room temperature. When it comes to painting, we must ensure that our skin is covered from overspray, we're spraying in a well ventilated area, and we're also wearing a suitable mask for the products that we're using. So when it comes to using caliper primer, we're going to be looking for a nice covering coat. We should only really need to put on 1 coat. However, if we need to just touch up a few areas because we've missed somewhere, then that's absolutely fine. So this is how it should look once completed. I'm happy that I've covered all the areas needed. However, if you've missed a few areas, then it's okay just to go over them now. As I'm happy with what I've done, I'm going to move on to all the other 3 calipers, and then we're going to leave them to dry. So now I've got all the calipers primed, we're going to leave them for around 10 minutes to go touch dry, and then we can move on with the base coat. So we're happy that the calipers are dry now. We can tell this by the matte colour. When we touch them, nothing comes off onto our finger. As mentioned, for this M3, we're using our Super Red kit. However, for whatever colour kit you've purchased, the application process is the exact same. As mentioned with the primer, we're going to shake the can for 2 minutes and ensure that it's at room temperature before application. However, this time, I'm going to apply 2 coats, leaving around 5 to 10 minutes in between coats. So I'm happy with the coverage on that first caliper. Now I'm going to go around and give all the other 3 their first coat. We've left the caliper for around 10 minutes just to dry, and the same with the primer. The gloss has now dropped off and we can touch the caliper and nothing comes off on our finger. Now we're ready for the second coat. This coat's all going to be about touching up, just making sure that we've got every last bit that we can possibly get, making sure that there's no primer that we can still see through on the caliper. And just like that, we've laid down the colour coat. We're going to check it's gone off by looking for the matte colour, and when we touch it, nothing comes off on our finger. Now we're ready for the caliper lacquer. When it comes to caliper lacquer, we're only looking to apply 2 thin coats with around 5 to 10 minutes again in between coats. So what is caliper lacquer? Well, caliper lacquer is going to supply a nice gloss finish onto these calipers, and it's going to seal in this lovely paint job that we've done, ensuring that it's protected against all heat elements that your brakes will be supplying. I've applied a coat around all 4 calipers. We've left it for around 5 to 10 minutes to dry off now, and we're going to just make sure that we're ready for the second coat. The way we're going to do this is we're not going to touch the caliper, we're actually going to touch the masking this time, just to make sure that it feels slightly sticky. That means it's ready for the second coat. It should not go touch dry like the other previous products. So I'm happy with that. You'll actually feel the paint slightly pull on your finger, and that means it's ready for the second coat. And there we go, it's as easy as that. We've even got some product left, just in case a caliper gets damaged in the future. We're now going to leave the car for 24 hours, just to make sure all the paint's fully cured, and then we're going to demask the car and put the wheels back on. If you found this video helpful, please leave a like and subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching.